Welcome to OMGT 3223 Business Decision Modeling. I'm just going to talk through some of the elements of the syllabus for the spring 2016. I am Dr. Christopher Keller. My phone number is here. The best way to reach me is email or on the Blackboard course listing. Post up a discussion forum. A lot of times, many of the emails I receive are of general applicability to all of the other students, and it's really convenient that people can feed off of questions that other people have by posting them to the discussion board. Certainly, if you have anything that's of a private nature, then go ahead and use my email. My official office hours, obviously, is an online course, not so applicable here in this case. I do check my email every day. I also have 2 kids at home, so I'm not online 24/7. But I will try to answer your questions promptly. The text for this course is required text for all OMGT 3223 sections. All of the materials that you need to complete this course are available online in Blackboard. So I have listed here that any edition is available, whether or not you have access or codes or software. I don't explicitly test out of the book or use any of its exercises. I don't utilize its software. Really, again, everything that you need is available on Blackboard. Now, if you do want an alternative explanation of some of the concepts that I cover here, then this textbook covers some of the items that I cover in the course. Also, I'll tell you, just in terms of Excel, the internet has exploded, obviously. And if you go into Google and type in anything from Mr. Excel, there's all sorts of Excel operations items out there. If you run across a good one, tell me and I'll post it up to Blackboard. Okay, managerial problem solving and decision making skills, course objectives, generalized description. I kind of want to get to the operative features here. Grade scale, very standard 10 points grade scale. There's 100 points available in the course, and this really is an accumulation. You want to make sure that you get every point that's available, because if you get 93 points, you get an A. You get 90 points, you get an A minus. So the thing to do in this course, you've got 100 points that you can get, is don't let those points get away from you from oversight or neglect or whatever sort of issue that goes along with that. Typical end of semester distribution of quarter A's, half B's, quarter C's or lower. Variously, it's changed through the semesters, but variously the overall class GPA ends up something around a 3, sometimes lower. Sometimes I have had semesters when it's been a little higher, but normally it's a little lower than a 3.0. The half or lower tend to pull that down. So there's really 3 components to the course. There's the assignments. This is 20% of your grade, worth 20 points. Quizzes, this is worth 20% of your grade. And then exams, and this is worth 60% of your grade. The biggest part of the course is the exams. There are 3 exams. They're worth 20 points each. They're open for 5 days, 6 days. And you can take it any time during that. They're closed book, closed notes. For the first 2 exams, and a formula sheet is provided. There is no formula sheet for the 3rd exam. The exams are not cumulative. The exams are multiple choice, and they're 20 questions. So basically, 1 point per question. If you have an exam dispute, I've never had an exam dispute, but that's just a clause in case there's some sort of issue that goes on. I may offer extra credit during the semester, 1 or 2 points here or there. Generally, it's a participation extra credit. I ask you to do some arbitrary task, and if you complete that task, then you get the extra credit. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the other 2 components. So the exams are the big bulk of it. Now, in order to prepare for the exams, you need to take the quizzes. There are 10 individual quizzes. They're worth 2 points each. And you can take the quizzes up to 20 times each. And I recommend that you take them 20 times each. You get the maximum score. So even if you get 2 points on a quiz, you can take it again, regardless of the score. Once having achieved 2, you'll always have 2. So I want you to practice these things. The reason I want you to practice these things is because these are multiple choice questions. And in fact, these are the multiple choice questions on the exam. So if you want a good look and good preparation for the exam, take the quizzes. Now, each quiz will draw a random set of questions. The second reason you want to take the quizzes a large number of times is so that you get a full view of the random sample that will happen in these quizzes. If you only take the quiz once, there might be a couple of varieties of questions that didn't get drawn out that time. Well, you need to take it again in order to have the opportunity to get that draw out of it. Okay? So, complete coverage of the materials and our practice for the exams. Now, the quizzes close prior to the exam. Because they practice for the exam, you can't take new quizzes after the exam is over. So, the evening before the exam opens, the quizzes will close. You won't be able to take any new ones. But you can still review any of your past quizzes by clicking on your grade in the grade book, and it will pull up all of your past attempts. So every quiz that you take is also a built-in study guide. Click on your grade in the grade book. You can go back and read the quiz. Okay? And if you've taken it 20 times, you have 20 different sets of questions for each one of those quizzes. Right? So there's 10 of those in the course. 4 of the quizzes are built for the first exam. 3 of the quizzes are built for the second exam. 3 of the quizzes are built for the third exam. So you've got both material coverage and exam prep and points all wrapped up into one. This is really participation points. So when I was talking about there's 100 points available in the course and you don't want to let small points get away, here's one of the places that I'm really talking about. If you take a quiz and get a 1.5 out of 2, you might argue, well, that's only half a point. But it's a half a point that you can't recover. And if you do that 10 times, half a point each, that's 5 points that you can't recover. Well, 100 minus 5 gets you down to a 95. Even if you ace everything else, you just squeak by on the A because you let these points get away. What you would really like to do in terms of the strategy of this is make sure you maximize all of these points, because as you build up the points, you can get to the end of the course. If you've accumulated 80 points at the time of the final, and you only need to get a 10 to get an A minus. So if you were able to do that as you go along. So you really want to invest early in doing these effort and doing these quizzes. Now the other 20% of the course are group assignments. These are worth 10 points. So for a total of 20 points. Everybody in the group gets the same grade. There's no peer evaluation. There's no relative rankings of this. You must participate in your group's discussion board. And we'll talk about groups a little more as we go along. So on these discussion boards, I subscribe to all of the discussion boards. Each group will have its own discussion board. In order to get your group gain, you have to participate in your group's discussion board. If you don't participate in your group's discussion board, you'll get a 0. It says right here, the assignments include ongoing moderated discussion boards. And if you don't participate in the discussion boards, you get a 0. Okay? Now, we'll post the assignments up. These will be Word documents that you will post up. Late assignments, if you miss the deadline, there's more than a month deadline. In fact, almost 2 months deadline in the first assignment, and then another month for the second assignment. You've got plenty of time for this. There's no network reason. I tried to post it at the last second and it was late. no sort of reason for that. Get it done early. All of that's, in fact, the first assignment's already available. The deadline's out towards the end of February, so you've got plenty of time to prepare, work, pick at this assignment, get it going on in terms of the late assignments. If it does happen to be late, then the first thing happens is 5 points goes way off the top. I'll grade it after that, but you just lose half just for not following the easy instructions. That's the points. You can really manage this by focusing on not letting those points get away. I'll also tell you on the exams, generally the first exam is the easiest. Just in the nature of it, seemingly from the scores, is you don't want to let those points on the first exam get away from you. Some of the material that we'll cover may be review or seem very easy, but don't make a mistake or let that get away from you just from some small inattention. Okay? Comply with Americans with Disabilities Acts. Now, on the second page of this I've got a brief outline of the course topics covered, and what I'll really talk about here are, I've got the due dates highlighted. Quizzes 1 to 4 close February 3rd. The first exam is about a month away, 4th to the 9th. You've got to be in a group by February 5th. Now, these quizzes close on February 3rd. You'll see in the calendar that I have them spaced out about 1 quiz a week. Now, I've really organized the course in a block structure. There are 3 blocks built around the 3 exams. And you're generally free to apply yourself to these materials in any sort of order that you want to during the time. Now, this is out to February, the first exam's on February 4th, so you can make the decision, well, I'll just do everything on February the 3rd. You're entitled to do that. The quizzes close on February 3rd, and you could try to do all of that work on February the 3rd. Generally not a good plan. 1, you're going to be stressed. 2, I can tell from the numbers historically, you're not going to perform well. 3, people that are under stress don't perform well. Some people have the idea, well, I perform well under stress. No, you don't. You always perform well, better with less stress. Now, if you put the pressure on yourself, that's a different thing from stress. And what I would encourage you to do is start early, take a quiz a day. They probably won't take you even 5 minutes to do a quiz. So take a quiz a day, take another quiz a day, take another repetition another day, look at a piece of material today. If you just nibble at it every day, you'll be in a great spot come February 4th. If you let it pile up until February the 3rd, it's not going to work out well for you. So you can manage these things. You have the entire calendar. You should go through them, discipline yourself to go through and do a little bit every day. Set aside some amount of time each and every day and do a quiz, read a document, look at a PowerPoint, watch a video, post on the discussion board, send an email, do something every day. If you do that, you will be very successful. Now here's my group membership. Here's the first assignment due date. Same sort of structure for the second module here. Second assignment is due, then we have the second exam, and then finally we have the third exam at the end of the course. The exams are not specifically cumulative. Obviously, math is inherently cumulative, so we'll talk about doing the average as well when we do later work, and there'll be a question on the first exam asking you to calculate some simple average just to demonstrate that you can do that. Now, averages won't go away on the second exam or the third exam, but I will never again ask you just calculate the average again. So that's what I mean by not explicitly cumulative. Academic integrity, I believe in this. Goodness is the only investment that never fails. Change is inevitable, change is constant. This syllabus is a guideline subject to change at any time, for any reason, with or without notice, at the unlimited discretion of the instructor. So really it's a guideline with this. And we've got some items down here at the bottom that are required to be included in here. If you have any question on the syllabus, I look forward to hearing from you. The best place to post it is up on the Blackboard. Send me an email, and welcome to the course.